What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at the best Pokemon cards to invest in below $10. There are some crazy opportunities even in this crazy market that we are in. Before we jump in, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. That motivates me to make more videos. Anytime you guys are purchasing these cards on eBay, make sure to hit this affiliate link at no additional cost to you. It helps support the channel. Doesn't matter what you buy as long as you're purchasing on eBay. And if you do want to directly support, don't forget to use code YouTube5 on my website, PokeKingShop.com, for 5% off your entire order. Brand new customers only. Okay, here we go. One of my biggest plays is the Psyduck. There's just something about this artwork that I think resonates with everybody. Psyduck is just a vibe, okay? Mega Evolution promo comes exclusive for the 3-pack promos. There's a massive difference in between raw value and graded value. And this is just the type of card where, sure, you have your staples, you have your Grails, you have your Charizard, Umbreon, Gengar cards, Pikachu cards, cards that drive the value of your investment portfolio. But then you have your sleeper picks like Psyduck. And I know what you're thinking. It's not a top 10 Pokemon. It's not a top 25 Pokemon even for many people. But it's a Pokemon that we all love and respect. And I think with the exclusivity that is behind this card, combined with the fact that it is Cosmos Foil, I've made so many videos showcasing how Cosmos Foil cards are very undervalued. And the reason why is because raw value relative to what they go for in a 10, it is very far apart. But Psyduck is one where there's just insane amounts of opportunity where you could take a near mint copy, get it graded with any major grading company. If it hits a 10, it will go up substantially. Now, if we look at the chart, past 6 months, not really too much traction, but past 3 months, as you could see, Mega Evolution base, MEO 1 is starting to get a little bit of older. We are now coming up on MEO 5, so that's 4 sets later. We are going from a $6 card now to about an $11 card. Since it's cooled down a little bit, you are still able to pick this up under $10. But when I look at the history of when the card came out, I mean, 950 items sold at $17. The fact that it even dropped to $6 is already crazy enough. The fact that an exclusive promo dropped over 50%, massive buying opportunity. But I feel at this time, nobody really cared about it because March was specifically when everyone was just so focused on Ascended Heroes. That's when everybody was just talking about ETBs, etc. Then as we got closer into April, we had our Prismatic reprints. So nothing too much was going on price-wise. But now that it's starting to get a little bit older, you see the prices creeping up. That signals this as a very strong buy. Moving on, we have the World Championship 2025. Beautiful artwork. I love World Championship cards. You could buy the Japanese versions. You could buy the English versions. You cannot go wrong. These right now, right about $10. They did surge to about $13, but since they have cooled off. The nice thing about these cards is a lot of people just dump them. So you could see that this at one point was like a $5 card, $6 card, but still this card has a lot of room to run. Again, initially in August, launching right out of the gate at 14. The fact that it's been a year and the prices are below what it opened out at still signals a very strong buy. Overall, the course of the year, you're down 24%. You really can't go wrong. It is a very safe entry point. Again, World Championship, another exclusive card, and it's Pikachu. Pikachu exclusive cards tend to perform very well because it is the staple Pokemon. It is the most iconic Pokemon of all time, so you can never really go wrong going Pikachu. Now, should you go all in on this one? Probably not, but, diversify by a little bit of everything. Get a Psyduck, get a Pikachu, take a look at some of the options. The reason why we present so many different cards in these videos is so you can pick out your favorites. And lately on some of these videos, you guys have been telling me that you've been enjoying all of the picks, and I'm glad to hear that because we do spend quite a lot of time making sure we are picking the absolute best plays in this market. Let's talk about Charizard GX for a second. Now, this one here, I did pull up a damage, so ignore this price point, but you are still able to find pretty good condition, right around $10, $15. Not a bad pick here. This is the Hidden Fates Charizard GX. What I like about this card specifically is the GX era in general has started to see like alt-art cards and other tag team cards and like higher rarity moving up. But these lower end GX cards, just the regular ultra rares, not really too much traction going on. But Charizard, again, massive staple. It's an old card. This was released in 2019, came from the tins, and the sealed product has continued to grow in value as Hidden Fates continues to become an older set. Now, by no means it's not vintage, but it is an older set, rather difficult to find sealed Hidden Fate tins around in the open market. Lots of people don't really have them in their investment portfolio, and the only way to obtain or increase the supply of the Charizard GX is by opening those tins. And you don't really see that happening all too often. So the supply is kind of flat, whereas the demand is beginning to go up in time, because we already see that demand shifting through, tag team cards and people just buying the really, really high rarity GX cards. I think smart money is going to pivot and get the cheaper stuff, because as people begin to get priced out, as high-end cards become extremely high-end, they become super, super expensive, that buyer pool gets limited. Whereas the play with these cheaper cards is there's so many more buyers for them. There's way more people who could afford to buy a $10 card than people who could afford a $1,000 card. So the Charizard GX is another interesting example. This is promo SM211. Next play I have for you guys. Now, this one's massive. I broke down a ton of the Prismatic Evolution surprise boxes, and we were selling sets of 9. I forget for how much, maybe like 200 or 250. We sold a few copies, but then I just pulled all of my promos for sale. And the reason is I think the stamped cards in general have a lot of room to run. Specifically when we look at Prismatic Evolutions, I mean, this is the Evolution set. A lot of people are priced out of the alt art cards like the Umbreon or just pretty much any SIR version of Evolution. Even some of the cheapest ones like Eevee, I mean, those are all 3-figure cards. Those are all 100 plus raw value. And for somebody who just wants to get exposure or really likes the Prismatic Evolution set, maybe didn't get to open a ton because you really couldn't find them in the wild throughout the year with how difficult it is to, find ETBs or just any kind of prismatic product, I think a lot of people are going to be picking these up. Now, my recommendation is if you are going to be buying these raw, buy near mint only. I don't think people are really going to care for like damaged or moderately played, but the bigger play I would say is to get the sealed copies. I have a few different examples here. We have Flareon EX near mint, $8. I think if you could pay even 10 or 20% more and get a sealed copy, I think the sealed copies are just going to perform extremely well. This is going to be an era that we all look back on and we're going to be like, hey, this was such a great set. Many of us, we couldn't really obtain Prismatic Evolution product. As a result, they are going to be super, super expensive. And I have one last example here of the Espeon. Now, Espeon, what's surprising is even cheaper than the Flareon, but pretty much everything minus Umbreon, you could snag under $10. I do believe at the time of the recording of this video, the Umbreon is right around $20 to $25. Now, if you are in a position, definitely scoop it up. It is going to be your leader. But in this video, we are specifically looking at cards under $10, which will exclude the Umbreon. Every other evolution, though, is fair play, and you really can't go wrong. You got Espeon, Flareon, Leafeon, Glaceon, like all of those cards, Jolteon, they're all going to perform extremely well. If you're looking at the history, I mean, we don't even need to look at the market price history. It was a $5 card, already trending up to 10. We have almost doubled in less than 6 months. Very, very strong growth. And as Prismatic Evolutions continues to age, as it gets older, as the likeliness of getting more product goes down, the chance that these sealed cards, these promos, go up in price. Now, here is probably going to be the cheapest card in this video. This card, right out the gate, is a $1 to $2 card. And, when I look at the Cosmos Foil Charmeleon, in my eyes, instantly, this is a $5 card. So the fact that we are at $2 is a super safe play. Charmander Cosmos Foil, you can't find any of those super cheap. Now, Charizard, you don't have any of those, but Charmeleon, this is a big opportunity just because this is out of the brand new Chaos Rising 3-pack blisters. The same way that the 3-pack blisters for Mega Evolution was Psyduck, and we have seen over the past 3 months that massive surge from the $6 price point to 10, you are going to see the same thing happen with the Charmeleon. The reason why, if we look at this price history, you don't really see too much meaningful movements because it's a brand new set. Everybody still has it. Everybody's dumping it. So there's a massive increase in supply of these Charmeleon cards, but that is precisely as investors when you want to be buying. You want to be buying when the supply is the highest because that will cause the prices to go down. And the reason for that is when there's so many sellers of the same card, everybody's going to be undercutting each other because everybody's trying to move it. Everybody's trying to take that capital and roll it into something else. So when supply is at its highest is precisely the moments that you should be buying these cards. Now, I love this card. I am continuing to stock up. I have copies that I'm saving raw. I have copies that I'm grading. It doesn't matter which grading company you send them off to. This Charmeleon with time is going to perform. Gem Mint 10 is going to carry a massive premium. Now, with the recent shutdown of PSA and them not having their bulk service, you're probably not going to see a lot of these graded through PSA, but all other grading companies are fair play. And I think this is just just a sweet artwork. People are going to like it. You got Charmeleon, you got the Fire Blast attack move. It is a cool card. It is a very popular Pokemon, and over the long term, it will do just fine. Next play is just VSTAR cards. Sword and Shield VSTAR. Again, lower end, older eras are kind of stagnant. You know, we looked at that GX Charizard example. This Glaceon is another one. And this actually is a promo card. You have Glaceon and Leafeon, both under $10. Super, super good picks. This is going to be the type of card where, you know, it was cheap for so long and out of nowhere, it's like a $20 card. And that's just what happens as these eras become older, as the sealed products get expensive. The single cards do go up in time. Another excellent example I have for you guys is Trainer Galleries. You know, we had Trainer Gallery Charizard. I remember selling raw copies of Zard for 15, 20 bucks. Now $50+ card. Same thing with the Gengar. And once the Trainer Galleries move up, well, what's the next thing is going to be your V-Stars. We have this card being $2, now up to $4 on a dollar scale. You haven't really moved too much, just $2, but on a percentage scale, it is up 100%. Now, let that happen again. It goes for 4 to 8. If you have every 2 copies you have, the other one is free. Another excellent play. Shifting back to Scarlet Violet, look at the popular Pokemon. Snorlax promo here. This is a fantastic one, number 122. At $10, you are still able to pick them up. But if you're looking at this market price history, you really don't have too much supply. You have less than 100 copies open on the entire TCG market. Now, for this one specifically, I'd probably be buying them on eBay. Again, anytime you are shopping on eBay, make sure to hit this link, especially if you find values in the videos that I make. We do spend quite a lot of time making awesome videos. Click that link, go about purchasing whatever you want, and you are helping out the channel. If you guys want access to English, Japanese, Korean, cards, sealed product, graded cards, everything on wholesale under market pricing. We have our PokeKingShop Pro group. This is application only. We've had a lot of people asking if you're interested. Make sure to check that out if you want to grow your business or if you just want to get access to a community of like-minded people. Awesome resources right there. But yeah, the Snorlax, ultimately super strong Pokemon. We don't really have any top tier Snorlax cards, so people are going to look back, snag the promos. That is where this one makes sense. And the final card I have for you guys today is going to be the Lapras CX. This is actually an interesting one. This came out of the UPC, the one that nobody really cared about. You are still able to find near mint copies under $10. But what's surprising about how cheap this card is again, this is another example similar to the Snorlax where you have less than 100 copies, but the prices, they're beginning to really pick up traction. Similar situation, $6 card, now right about a $10 card. You know, in my eyes, it's going to be a $20, $30 card, so it's a quick double, triple up from here. Stock up. It's Lapras, very popular Pokemon, and it's gold. You know, the gold cards in the Mega Evolution block are highly sought after. I think gold cards in general are pretty undervalued on some of the higher end cards that we've looked at. You know, a lot of these cards are going down in price, and I'm not sure why, but Lapras is a good example of one that is trending up. So capitalize on that, jump on the trend, because this one with time is going to just continue growing in value. It really can't get any cheaper, especially with those UPCs being done. You don't have any more hitting the supply. There's no way that a card like this could fundamentally go down in price. That's all I have. Hopefully you guys learned something. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, we will catch you on the next one.